Nikki, can you, okay, awesome. Okay, welcome everyone. How is everyone? Oh my gosh, I feel like I've been on this whirlwind. I went conference number one, conference number two. If you've ever done want to be on a high, an extra high, do two conferences back to back, like insane in a good way. Absolutely. And I know Courtney's on and got to spend some time with our US team, which was amazing and lots of bonding. We were able to play the cucumber game. I taught them how to play the cucumber game, and the bag toss with the mouth. That was so fun. Oh my goodness! I think we were drinking more vino than us in Calgary though. So it was even more entertaining. And I'm gonna have to say, Sarah Beardmore with her CrossFit legs broke the cucumber. So we had little mini cucumbers going back and forth, and that was even more entertaining. Anyways, guys, let's get started. So tonight's call is going to be talking about customer acquisition. But before we do that, what I want to do is just go over a couple announcements. A lot of you might have been on the call last night for the new marketing plan for 2020. I met one of my team members that was on the call, and she's like, oh my gosh, that was so overwhelming. She said half of it went over my head, and I said, awesome, me too. So I just, we do have that recording. And Nikki, I think I sent it to you. If you could get that recording and just plop it on Team B under training, just so we have a home for it. Just so some of us who are into numbers and our color blueprint and green that really want to know the numbers immediately, we just want to have a home for that. I just went onto our virtual office, and oh, Nikki just said it's already up on the website. Nikki, you rock, under Q&A. Perfect, okay? So if you need to rewatch the recording, that's where we're housing it. The new documents for the marketing plan phase 1 and phase 2 have been posted on our virtual office. You can print those off. They're under what's new. So if you go up to the very top, it says what's new, scroll down, and you can print those off and have those documents handy. So I just wanted to let you know that. When I was down in the US, I was fortunate enough to be in the NMD meeting, and they actually showcased all of the professional videos that have been done for the new marketing plan. And I have to say, it's absolutely first class. They're going to be consistent with the Canadian, the same speaker, which is Julie Hurst, is doing the US. She's also doing our Canadian. So there's going to be that, same feel, which is amazing. And they're almost all done. What I loved about it is they have one very long one, which they actually showed us. And obviously that's going to attract people that want to know everything from start to finish. But what I love about what they've done is they've actually broken it up in small little mini chapters. So for the action, the crazy reds that just want to know a little bit at a time, we just send them one chapter at a time. So if you're like working at getting to Fast Track BF, there's one little small video that we would send the new person, and it tells them exactly what they need to do. So those tools are coming. Be patient. They're working as hard and as fast as they can. The Founders Award members have been putting in literally full-time hours on top of trying to run their empire to make sure that these materials are top notch. So just really grateful for what corporate is doing and listening to the field. And a lot of these materials that are coming to us are based on what the field is looking for, which it makes it user-friendly for all of us. So I just wanted to let you know that. Very quickly, I want you to guys just to try to keep up with all the events that are going on. I know, Nikki, you're doing a fantastic job updating the events page. And I know there's a lot of events that are starting to show up in the next 6 weeks. And that's huge because, as we know, that's where we build customers, and that's where we build trust. That's where we build belief in our prospects, and that's where we can get a lot of distributors. So I just want to make sure that, if you are building a team, if you are building your business and you are in the game, please take a look at that events page and make sure that you are on top of all the events. I will do a couple shout outs because there's a few things that have just slightly changed over the last week. You guys know that tomorrow in Aurora is a hormones talk. We've got 30 people so far registered. We're probably expecting anywhere between 40 plus to that one. So we're really excited about that event. November 2nd, that is the new training that we put together just recently. Thank you to Jen Brennan for opening up your home.
November 3rd. November
3rd, thank you. That's a Sunday, and it's called Badass Training from 10 till 2. It's going to be live and recorded so that anybody that is not in the Aurora area can watch it in the comfort of their own home with their team. So the flyer is ready. Nikki's going to post it probably tonight or tomorrow, so you guys can share that out to your team. We will also be working on getting an agenda to you so that you know approximately what time the different trainings are going to be. November 7th is a kind of Alyssa and Paulo tour. Alyssa has a lunch and learn. So for those of you that went to conference and got to see Alyssa open up Calgary conference, she's bringing that same talk into Aurora. So that's a lunch and learn on November 7th. It's a paid ticket. So you want to make sure that after the hormone talk that we're starting to build for that event. And the last thing I just want to do a shout out is the big regional. The last regional of the year will be in Aurelia on November 9th. So I just wanted to make sure that you kind of have those captured in your calendar. But of course, there's a lot more going on all
Nicole,
over the
can
place.
I just let everyone know about the regional in Kingston? If you guys have prospects in that area, Alyssa's going to be in Ottawa November 14th and Kingston November 15th, and then we're doing a regional in the 16th in Kingston. So if anyone has anyone in that area or wants to drive to come see us, please do.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to make any announcements for any of the events that you're doing in November? I know Jeff and Callie, you're doing something in your area.
Hi, so yes, Susan Baker will be coming November 13th, and we're going to do a Feed Your Body, Change Your Life event. I'm going to let you guys know it is only 30 to 40 tickets right now that are available. And then what I'm trying to do is once those tickets are sold, if I can up the venue size at Westmount Golf Club, I will. But if it's after November the 1st and we're only sitting at say 12 or 15 tickets, I'm just going to leave it at that smaller venue. So tickets are limited.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anyone else before we move on?
Christmas party, November 29th, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Okay, Christmas party is, yes, I do have it.
29th.
Yeah, 29th at Melissa's house. Do we have to dress up special? Ugly sweatshirts?
Yeah, ugly sweater.
Ugly sweater? I love it. That's when Value Village comes in really handy. Anybody want to do some shout outs to any new faces, new team members on the team?
Yes, I do. I'd like to welcome my new rep, Tony. Dana.
There she is.
There she is, and she's just a beautiful life coach, and I'm just really excited for her.
Awesome. Welcome, Tony. We got to meet and know each other yesterday on Zoom, so I'm so excited you got to join us. Beautiful heart, and she'll fit right in with our amazing community. Okay, so we're going to get started. What I wanted to do is just talk about customer acquisition, and this is a good topic, especially for newbies when you're first starting. You're like, how do you get a customer? How do you get your first customer? And that can be very scary and intimidating. So we've got some distributors on here tonight that are going to share how they have been, acquiring. And what I love about these shares is that we're all at different stages in the business. And so when you are sharing tonight, just give people an indication, especially for our new people, how long you've been doing the business, to give them appreciation that, because it's like, as you get into cold market, some people say, oh, it's so hard to get orders. How do you do that? But we're figuring it out for sure. So who wants to go first? Jen Brennan, do you want to go first? Because I know that you're a little rock star this month.
Yeah, sure. How's it going, guys? Yeah, so I came back from conference and I was like, I need to like get my shit together. So like I always do after conference. But I've been going full tilt. I've just been, and you know what? I watch everybody's social media. I've been super straightforward on social media. And I think that's something that I've changed and I haven't been doing before. And I haven't been utilizing the resources. So obviously I can say Team Z. I don't do it consistently, just owning it. But when I do it, it's great. And at least allows me to go back and see who I've put into it because I forget who I speak to. But Instagram has been so wicked with the polls, and I've really been using those a lot, and I notice everyone doing it now, which is so great. So if you're not, I really suggest you doing this, guys. I'm at 15 new orders this month and new customers, and I'm just doing a list. I've got 7 more that I'm probably going to close by the end of the month. I know close is such an icky word. But my goal was 20 new orders this month, and half of those be health studies, if not more. And one girl ordered, and she wants to know if she can put her dog on the health study. So, you know, there's just cool stuff going on. So anyways, my point of this is, use the polls. So what I'm doing is this, and my little red brain over here is so organized. I'm more of a blue now. So I put, like, for instance, the picture of the new towers, who's interested. And so I've got, 18 people that are interested in new towers. We know that they're not coming out till next year. Cool. Like what Becky said, get them in an Excel file, talk to them about the towers right now. If they don't want a tower right now, boom, put them aside. So I put them into Team Z. I did with what Nicole taught me, which is create a little folder called New Tower Gardens. And so I know to follow back up with them. I'm like, hey, they're coming out next year. I'm going to follow up with you. Be ready for me. If in the meantime you want another tower, come at me and we'll get you another tower. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing, the polls for the shred. What I'm doing is, instead of like, heck yeah, I'm in for this shred, or no, I'm good, I'm doing, hell yeah, I'm in for this shred, or I'm in for the next one. And so I have my list of people that were in for this shred, and I started them late, guys, because it was like, I don't know. First of all, I started my own shred one day early. It's like I didn't even pay attention to when the shred started. I stole someone else's photo and I didn't realize that we weren't starting until the 16th. So like, you can just go with it. And then I just told my people, we're starting a day early. It's fine. And some of them were starting late. And now I have all of the people who said they're in for next round. I messaged them this morning. I'm like, hey, it's next round. We need to get your order in today or tomorrow because we need to get it to you by next week. I want to hook you up with a shaker. So I think it was Jen Zerbrigg who messaged today saying, is somebody ordering shred shakers? Like, I want to be gifting people with these things again. And I just have, it's like, I have my customers set up now, and I have my customers set up to order in a week or two. And I think that's how my business is going to work now. It's like, beginning of the month, cool, I'm getting people ready for the second shred while we're still running 2. And it's just been working. And I've been diligently following up. I have lists out the yin yang from the polls. And then I'm doing my events in there too. So it's people that are interested now. No, I'm good. I'll come to the next one. Those people are now my new prospects for the next one, and I plug them into Team Z. That's all I got.
Jen, can I ask you a question? Are
Yeah.
you doing an actual poll? Because a poll, I understand, is you give them all different options.
No, it's called Poll on Insta. I think it's called Poll, isn't it? On Insta, it's called Poll, and then you just type in your question. So like,
Oh, I thought that was a question. No, okay, because it just have the 2 options is what you're doing.
I think it just gives you the 2 options, if I'm positive. I know, Sagan, you use them as well, same with Sarah. So yeah, 2 options, right, guys? Right, Crystal? Yeah. So I just asked the question, but instead of putting a no, because it's so funny, people actually take the time to answer no. And I message them, I'm like, did you really message me no? It's so weird. And then we start talking, but I go, yes, right now, or next one. And then I have my 2 lists. I just screenshot it before the 24 hours is up. And then I go back the next day and message them. And it's cut and paste, cut and paste. It's just, it's working in my brain. And honestly, guys, like, I have people that I've been working on for 4 years that are finally freaking ordering. So bam.
Cool. So you're doing the poll right in your story. Is that the secret, to do it in your 24-hour story?
Yeah. And I sent a bunch of our team what I did when I got back from conference. I took a whole bunch of pictures from, like, fun pictures from conference. So it was like the adventures, the friendships, the laughter, the travel, the community. And then the last one was like a picture of me and Kelly on Zoom. And I was like, who wants to have fun with me? And I had like over 20 responses. They had no idea. So now those are people I'm talking to about joining the business. So the poll's always on the last page. It's like the closer. And I've been noticing like Jen Zerbrigg doing it, Melissa Sagan, like everybody seems to be doing it. It's because you can see who is engaging in your posts, not just see who's kind of stalking your story. I love it. It's way more straightforward. And people that I didn't know were even paying attention are like, yep, I want information.
Oh, I love it. Great training.
Jen, let me make your life really easy. If you
Yeah.
go into your Instagram profile, up in the top right-hand corner, there's 3 lines.
Yep.
Hit those and you can go into your archives and you can see all your stories and go back on all your polls and whatnot. You don't need to screenshot anymore.
I know. You know what? I actually saw that last night and I was like, oh, this is amazing because I've just been screenshotting all of them.
Yeah.
I can go back, but I can't figure out how to get onto the stories without putting them into on the main page of Insta. I'll message you separately, but on the main, like where it's making your little new, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll message you after and ask you because I don't want to take up the time
Yeah,
on.
message me.
Thanks, Megan. Woo, see? It's just like
Yay.
learning as you go.
Melissa, thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that either. I just learned
Thanks.
something new.
Thanks, Megan. I didn't know that either.
Awesome.
Woo, woo.
Susan Baker, you just got a brand new VF out of Calgary, and I know you worked really hard with her this last month. Do you have the capability of talking tonight? I know you're always busy with kiddos in the back.
Yeah, I have a couple minutes. Solo parent tonight, but it's all good. I wrote it down, of course. Blue. Blue is my number 2 trait, you guys. I lead with yellow. Anyway, so Becky Plates, she's a new rep in Calgary, and she freaking did it. 30 days to VF. And I'm telling you, if she can do it, anybody can do it. She didn't believe she could do it. And so that was one of the first things we talked about. So of the things I wrote down, as much as we have a system, I really feel like every rep is different and you have to find what works for each rep. I fast-tracked another rep earlier this year, and what worked for her were conversations. She had a hell of a lot of coffee dates, and she didn't do home events. She didn't plug into our local events as much. So it does, depend on their color, I guess, right? So with Becky, she's a yellow and then she's a blue. And so we knew what this meant for her, the money meant for her and her family. And then she needed a blueprint. She needed a bit of a plan. So she was fully teachable. I learned that from Nicole and Melissa Hyde. Talked to the reps about being fully teachable, willing to step out of her comfort zone. And she is an introvert. She has anxiety and she has a small network of people. So this was a big deal for her. She became a product of the product. So she ordered it for herself, her kids. She got her son with ADHD on the omegas and the berries. So then she had some testimonial too, right? It was only a couple of months. She posted about it. She got brave about that. And then where the customers actually came from, this was like the blueprint. We, at the end of the summer, I said to her, okay, you need to make your list of the people in your life. And then we're going to go through that list and feed them into events. So the first chunk of people we took were people that we wanted to invite into the September shred, right? Like back to school, back to health, that kind of thing. So she sent emails and messages to them. Then we looked at her online event. So she did a launch, an online event. And so we went back on her list and we invited people into that. And then she did a home event. And so she had a small group of people that she invited into that. Her launch event, we did it in a different way where it was kind of built around supporting the immune system. And so that was kind of the theme for September, like back to school, immune health. And that was her launch. But then of course, key to that was she freaking did the work. She followed up and she followed through. I kept saying to her, we need to get them to a yes or a no. And that was the work she did. And then in the final 12 hours, I was like on a hike with my kids as a PA day. She's like in between her piano lessons. She was like 300 points away or 400. I said, Becky, you're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to call those people. And she used the sense of urgency, that sort of Eric Worre thing. So she said, hey, to 2 people. Hey there, I know it's busy times. I'm actually away this weekend, but I'm busy putting orders in for other people. And I wanted to make sure I got yours in. And they were kind of like, okay, like we didn't really say we were ordering, but she created that urgency, right? And that is how she closed it. So, and She had the loss of a family member in those 30 days. Her grandmother passed away. So like she had every reason to not make this happen. And for me, she was one of the best examples of when a rep wants something, they'll go for it. They'll make it happen. So, you know, I used Melissa Hyde's line of you just keep going until you get it done. So that was her story. That's where the orders came from.
Love it. Thank you so much, Susan. And that's amazing leadership and such an example of, as a leader, of how flexible that we need to be and work with each person on that kind of individual level. And like you said, with the different codes too, I think is really important. So well done, leaders. So I think you have a chance to do Super Builder at the end of December. So there you go. Did you know that? Super Builder is still alive and well up till the end of December, $1,500. Okay, anyone else? I know Sarah Mokhtar, you are rocking it with orders as well this month. I think you said you're upwards of 9. What the heck are you doing, girlfriend?
Yeah, I have 9 in right now, brand new customers. Probably about 5 or 6 gonna be in the next week, hopefully, if not more. And I've signed up 3 new reps, all at DD, and you know, going forward. I don't have really extensive training. It's just yeah, just a shift happened in after conference, and I just said I can't be sitting on the fence anymore. I do not want to close this year just at status quo. And I have some big hairy goals for the end of the year, and they ain't gonna happen if I ain't doing the work. And not that I wasn't doing the work, it's just like we say, I've made that decision. And when you make the decision, a lot of them are planting seeds from a long time ago and just being consistent on social media, following up the wazoo. Like one of the girls, actually I have a new rep probably signing up tomorrow, so that'll be 4. She was interested in the business a year ago and then just ghosted me for a whole year. And I messaged her after Thanksgiving, like, hey, how's it going? You know, just wanted to say, hey, I was in Kingston. It was so nice. And she's like, yeah, can you tell me more about that business? I'm so sorry. I just was so busy, but now is the right time. So it's like Jen said, just following up. You never know when it's the right time. And I definitely just lead with the business now. Hence why I'm getting so many reps. But yeah, it's just that, you know, working hard. I definitely know I need to be more consistent with my stories. I just feel like I don't have a very exciting life. But I see people reaping the benefits of it. So that is my goal for now until the end of the year, is to get better with my stories. But my Instagram posts still generate a lot of likes and comments and inquiries. I actually have a girl that I'm talking to from Australia, the Gold Coast, where Brian Marsh's team is. So I'm connecting them with them. He has an event in a couple weeks that I'm going to connect her with. So it's really exciting.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. There you go. The Insta posts are amazing, and consistency. Yeah, for sure. Samantha, did I see that you actually wanted to share? You said, yes, I'm ready to share. Yeah?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think the best part about where I'm at right now is that I've just experienced my first conference. And like there's no words. Like, I just feel like I'm like permagran all the time, because there's a shift that definitely happened. I know a few people have said that you come out and it's just sort of like so much became so simple. And it made me realize sometimes we make things more complicated than they need to be. You know, sometimes it's just hearing the same message, but in a different way, that you think, okay, yeah, no, I know where they're going with that. I think number one, I have to thank Jen Brennan, because she did this whole to work with stolen moments. Again, verbiage. I'm like, oh my God, totally. Because I felt like there were those moments that I was doing it, but I almost felt like maybe I wasn't putting enough time into it. And then I realized that's what life's about. It is about the stolen moments. And sometimes, let's be honest, we only have 2 minutes, but that's when you need to reach out, because those people are top of mind. And that's when it comes back to authenticity. You think of them, you message them and be like, oh my God, I just thought of you. How are you? A friend of mine recently underwent a hysterectomy. I thought, you know what? Perfect opportunity. Just going to circle back. Nothing to do with business, but just recognizing that it all counts and that it's not just about the business. I know some of this is going to be a given, but sometimes I think we get in too much into our head. And I know Melissa Sege and I just talked about this, not coming across as salesy. You know, I know the 5 of us at conference kept talking about that, about making sure that we were coming across just in our authentic ways, that we would never want anyone to think of us as salesy. And then for me, it's so funny because I've been in sales my whole life, pretty much. And so that's what I do. That's what I do best. But it's all about when you believe in something and it comes from the heart and you share from your personal experience, then it's not salesy anymore. It's not like you're saying, buy this because it's going to do all this. It's like, you know what, I have to tell you, this is my personal experience. This is what's happened to me. This is what's happened to my girls. I mean, mic drop. They hear the stories and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I need that. So for me, when I started a year ago, I have to say I started at the best time. I started in September. I went to the Markham. There was a regional happening. And I was already sort of toying with the idea of becoming a rep. I guess maybe almost close to a year previous to that. I started the girls on, I have 2 little girls. They're 4.5 and 6.5. And let's just say they're like cesspots. They bring home everything. And I was getting everything. It was disgusting. And I had got the girls, as I say, on the gummies. And then all of a sudden, game changer. And so Melissa and I went out for coffee one day. And she's like, it's so awesome seeing how healthy they are, because it was crazy how often they were sick. But girlfriend, like, you need to take care of you. You're type 1 diabetic. I don't need to say anymore. Like, if you go down, your whole family goes down. And then I just needed that reassurance. Because, you know, let's be honest, life just gets busy. You put your kids first in many cases. And you think, oh, so it's, you know, all these other expenses. And then you think, wait a second, my health comes priority, number 1. So that was game changer. So once I bought in for me, then the business just became a no-brainer. Where I was able to really capture getting in and just going gangbusters to become VF is I wanted it. I'm a red, I'm social, but I could taste it, and I could taste the money aspect and the bonuses that would come my way. But not only that, the way that I went about it, and it's different because, you know, I find it fascinating because Mel Sege talks about how she just saw the business opportunity where, you know, my personality, I felt like, okay, you know what, I really need to taste it, have the testimonials to then share it. But that's my own comfort zone. But now, of course, I have so much under my belt. I have a year later where I feel so much more comfortable now leading more with the business. What did I do? A sharing is caring. So when I first went in to become a rep, because I saw what I had done for my girls, I went after all those sick mommies. I have 2 little girls. You know, at that point I had 1 in school, 1 in daycare, so I could talk about my experience, the fact that they were bringing everything home. My girls suddenly weren't bringing everything home. And so that was really resonating. Of course, capturing on sharing, like I'd give them samples, get the kids into it. Sometimes the kids were here for play dates. They saw the stuff out on the counter. They were curious. My girls were talking about the gummies and how obsessed they were. People saw the videos that I was doing of like my girls like attacking the jars. They're like, oh my God, we need some of that. So that's what really helped me. The best thing, of course, Shred 10. I started the Shred 10 right away once I became a rep and captured that. Mel had said to me right off the bat, you need to capture the feeling you were feeling every single day. And so I did that. And then, of course, once I did the first shred, we all know what happens. You feel so friggin' good. You want to do it every month. I don't think I might have missed 1 shred for a whole year. I've been doing it every month. So that is, for me, the perfect opportunity to capture a new market. You're talking about your symptoms, the things that have gone away, the new energy you felt, all of that, you've got to capture it. Events between just inviting people to a variety of different events. Even if I couldn't go, I was inviting people saying, hey, I thought of you. What else? Captured in terms of getting the actual orders, I captured orders from friends and family over the course of the month that I went for VF. My obviously family was following along on my journey and they wanted to feel as good as I did. But yeah, most of the orders were coming from close, near and dear friends, but people through my kids' school. So that was a huge bonus.
Awesome, Sam. Thanks for sharing. That's so good, especially for our newbies that are on, just to, you know, a lot of the fears that they have, right, of who to share it with, how to share it with. That was just a really good tips. Okay, we're going to close off here, but what I want to close is I just need a couple more minutes of your time, guys. This has come up in the last 24 to 48 hours with a couple distributors of them saying, I'm really frustrated. I can't close a sale, or I don't know how to close a sale. I'm kind of like feeling like they're just hanging out there. And so the training that I did and kind of the deep dive that I was doing is the question I was asking them is, do you know what pain they have before you go in for the kill? And guess what? No, they didn't know what pain it was. And I'm like, guys, you guys have to remember that this is like dating. Do you guys remember first base, second base, and third base? And these distributors were like literally going to third base without their permission. And I'm like, that's a no-no. So number one, find your prospect's pain. Then once you find the pain, you ask the question, would you be open to learning about a whole food supplement that I've put in my body that has helped me with X, Y, and Z? So then you're asking for permission to move to the next base. Do you get that? Don't share Juice Plus with them if you don't have permission. And listen, guys, I made every mistake in the book in the beginning. I used to just think everybody wanted Juice Plus and I would vomit on them. But now with GoPro, I understand that you have to move to the different paces by asking permission. And then I love how you guys tonight are talking about your codes. I love how Susan was saying, you know, she's a nurturer and she's a blueprint. This is so important because when you are working, even with the prospect, even if you don't code them, you can ask questions to help you understand what their code is. So like yesterday when we were on with my mom's new rep, Tony, right away I said, before I even move into this conversation, I need to understand what's important for you to take a, you know, when you're considering looking at a business. Are you about stories? Are you about, you know, seeing the results? Are you about the detail behind what's in you know, behind the label, like all of that stuff? Are you, you know, into research? And right away she said, I'm into stories. So I was able to tailor our presentation and go into our Design Your Sweet Life event and go straight to the stories and show her what the Shred 10 program does, because she's a health coach. So being effective with your time and making sure that you're gifting people with the right information, right? What's important to you. So that was the training that I did in the last 24 hours for a couple distributors, and it really helped them understand how important it is to ask questions, know who you're talking to, and what's important to them so that you can send them the right tools and information to help you close the sale. Make sense? Anyone last kind of comment, questions before we wrap up? Leaders? Anything? No? Awesome. Okay, so just 9 o'clock, I know Sarah's already gotten off, so just so you guys know, we're still continuing with the Monday calls and the Wednesday calls for prospecting. So that's where a couple people already jumped off for. So for our new people, those calls are always there for you guys to peek at. I would encourage you over the next week to jump on at least 1 or 2 so you understand what the call is and the gift that we're giving you so that you can plug your prospects in so that they can understand what we are up to. And tap into 3 ways. My close rate these days are like 100% with 3 ways. Hey, Mom? 100%. You speak from the heart. I love it. And it's so fun. So guys, leverage us so much. This is why we're NMDs. We've just had enough conversations to hit the heart and ask the questions. And I just love them so much. It's just, I could do 3 ways all day. Honestly, I could. I love meeting new people. I love casting vision. I love hearing their stories. So there you go. Take advantage.
Okay.
I could do 3. Hey, you're naughty. I wasn't even going there.
I want to follow that now.
Everyone's texting
I'm
me
going to
like
be tapping
3
into.
ways, eh?
Yeah, right.
I was being
Nicole.
so good. That was coming from a really authentic place too, you know.
I'm actually going to engage with you soon. I have a client, potential person who's going to join the biz. And Melissa Sagan thinks you're the perfect person. So you're going to be hearing from me soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's my fitness trainer.
Okay, I love it. Next week, we're going to be talking about distributor acquisition. So lots of new shares next week on how we're attracting distributors. Thanks, everyone. Lovely to see you. Everyone's going to go to Dreamy Now Land and think about those 3 ways. Brad's not even on here. He's like, what? Did I miss out on something?
Bye, guys.
We have way too much fun.
Bye.